3, 2, 1. If you can't see me, face so that you can see me. Give me your eyes. All right, crisscross applesauce. Thank you for sitting down so quietly. We're going to start some of our letters and our sounds and some of our reading. And I know you guys are going to be reading rock stars today. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tap out some words. So I'm going to tap out the word. I want you to blend it together. So listen to the sounds, and then you're going to blend it together, and you're going to show me what word that is. G. Good. Sk. I.
Sky.
B-o-oo.
Blue.
K-it.
Kit.
Y'all are so smart. Okay, now we're going to segment some words, and we're going to count the sounds. So I need to see your fingers this time. Okay, we're going to count the sounds. So the word is fast. Let's break it apart. Fast. How many sounds? 4. The next word is mask. Ask. How many sounds?
4.
Good. The next word is wrist. Ist. How many sounds? 4. The last word is snake. Snake. 4. Good job. You guys did a great job blending your words and segmenting your words. You're going to need that when you're reading, and you're going to need that when you're writing. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to work with our PBJ partners just a little bit. So I need for jellies to stay where you're at. And I need for peanut butters to just go walk and sit right next to your jelly. If your partner's not here, I'm going to give you a different partner. Peanut butters, walk and sit next to your jelly. Nolan, your partner's not here. And Zoe, your partner's not here. So Zoe, I'm going to have you be partners with Nolan. Jimmy, your partner's not here. So you stay with Mason and Abigail, okay? It's a perfect spot for you. All right. Sailor, have you found your partner, baby? Braxton? Okay, make sure you're sitting next to your partner. And now give me your eyes. Both of you give me your eyes. Let me see. Let me see eyes. All right. Okay, today we're going to talk about vowel sounds. Can you say vowel?
Vowel.
There are 2 types of sounds in the English language. There are consonant sounds and there are vowel sounds. So today we're going to practice our vowel sounds. When we say a vowel sound, our mouth stays open. Our lips are not going to touch. So I'm going to have you look at your partner. So you're going to face your partner. And you're going to say some vowel sounds to your partner. And your partner's going to watch your mouth. And your partner's going to notice that your lips are not going to touch. Your mouth is going to stay open. So I want you to look at your partner now. If you're not already close to your partner, turn and face your partner. Make sure you can see their mouth. Okay? And I want you to repeat this sound after me. Eh. Did your partner's mouth close? No. Say this word. Eh. Did your partner's mouth close? Say this one. Ah. Good. Did it close? Good. Did it close? No. What about ah? Did your partner's mouth close? No. Good. Okay, so when we make vowel sounds, give me your eyes again. When we make vowel sounds, our lips are not going to touch. We are going to be able to say that sound without closing our mouths, okay? And you're going to notice, watch my mouth. When I say eh, my mouth is just open a little bit. When I say eh, it opens up a little bit more. When I say ah, it opens up even more. When I say it's opening a little bit more. And then ah, it's open really wide. So it opens a little bit more with each vowel, okay? So I want you to look at your partner's mouth again. And I'm going to say the vowels. And I want you to watch your partner's mouth. It's going to go from wide to a little bit less wide each time. Okay? So I want you to say ah, ah, Your mouth should have slowly started to close a little bit. It's not going to close all the way, but it's going to slowly close just a little bit. Great job practicing those vowel sounds. Now, I want you to go back to your regular circle spot. Just go back to your regular circle spot. Give me your eyes. In a name, sometimes we tend to stretch those vowels out a little bit. So listen, when I say eh, I can stretch it out if I want to. Eh, I can stretch it out. So I'm going to stretch it out in some names. You're going to hear the vowels in your name being stretched out a little bit. Kenley. What vowel did I stretch out?
E.
The E sound. Good. What about Jimmy?
E.
Good. I'm stretching out those vowel sounds. Good job. Okay. Now, when we sing, we tend to put a little bit more of an emphasis on the vowels. So I'm going to sing a song, and I'm just going to sing the vowel part. And I want to see if you can recognize the song just by listening to the vowel part. You ready? A, E, A, ooh. What song is that? Happy birthday to you. You recognize it just by hearing those vowels because we put a little bit more emphasis on the vowels when we sing. So vowels are super important. Super duper important. A word cannot be a word without a vowel sound. So every word has to have a vowel sound in it. So you guys are going to practice in just a minute listening for some vowel sounds. So I'm going to give you a copy of some vowels. And you are going to cut out the vowels. And then you're going to come back to the carpet once we finish cutting. And then you guys are going to listen to some vowel sounds. And you're going to hold up the vowel that you think you hear, okay? So in just a minute, you're going to go to your seat. You do not need to put your name on this because you're just going to cut out these vowels, okay? And so all you need is your scissors. You're going to cut speedy fast. And then we will come back to the carpet. And we will go over our words and listen for some vowel sounds, okay? So if you're a girl, walk back to your seat. Up the sound for ah. Good. Very good. Hold up the sound for ah. Good job. Hey Sailor, put them all out in front of you so you can see them. Go ahead and spread them all out in front of you. Show me the eh. Good. Show me the eh. Good. Show me the Excellent. Okay, now put them in front of you so that you can see your sounds. I'm going to say a word. You're going to listen for the vowel sound that is in the middle of the word. So you're listening for the vowel sound that is in the middle of the word. Okay? The first word that I'm going to say is pit. What do you hear in the middle of pit? Hold up your eh. Okay, I saw a few friends that held up eh. It and eh are tricky. They sound very similar, but you should have an eh. If yours looks like Masons, you are correct. Good. Put your letter down.
Miss Forrest, I think I left my E at the table.
Okay, you can go see if you have it. Okay, listen to the next word. Shh, Kinley, it's right there, baby. Kinley, it's right here.
You were sitting on it.
That's all right.
What?
All right, give me your eyes. Listen to the next word. Listening ears on. The next word is pot. Pot. Hold up the sound that you hear in the middle. Pot. Pot. Hold up the sound that you hear in the middle. Good. If yours looks like Jemias, you are correct.
Yay!
Hey, friends, if you get it correct, let's silently celebrate, okay? We're going to silently celebrate. Okay, the next word. Bag. Bag. Listen to the middle sound. Bag. Okay, if yours looks like Braxton, you may silently celebrate. Silently celebrate. Okay, put your letter down. Listen to the next word. Hid. Hid. What do you hear in the middle? Hid. It's tricky. Hid. Listen to that middle sound. Good. If yours looks like Wyatt, you may silently celebrate. Good. Listen to the next word. Pat. Pat. Good. Excellent. If yours looks like Alan, you may silently celebrate. I hear ah in the middle. Okay, next word. Not. Not. What do you hear in the middle of not? Good. If yours looks like Zoe, you may silently celebrate. I hear ah in the middle. Okay, the next word. Pet. 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 Listen carefully. Good. If yours looks like Nolan, you may silently celebrate. Good. I hear the eh sound in the middle of pet. The next word is nut. 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 What do you hear in the middle of nut? Good. If yours looks like Jordan, you may silently celebrate. I hear the sound in the middle of nut. Next word is lead. Lead. Good. Lead. Excellent. If yours looks like Masons, you may silently celebrate. Excellent. I heard the sound. Okay, we've got 3 more. The next word is lap. Lap. Ooh, good job. Lap. What do you hear in the middle of lap? Ah, good. If yours looks like Jemias, you may silently celebrate. Make sure we're silent with our celebrations. Okay, and then we've got 2 more words. Mud. What do you hear in the middle of mud? Mud. Good. All right, if yours looks like Kinsley's, you are correct. You may silently celebrate. And then the last one. Pop. 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 Excellent. If you're holding up aw like Wyatt, you may silently celebrate. Good job. Okay, one more quick run. I want to make sure you know all your vowel sounds. Show me eh. Good. Show me eh. Just eh. Just eh. Show me ah. Show me Show me ah. Excellent. All right, you may put your cards away. So I'm going to let girls walk and put your cards. I'm going to give this to you. I want you to set it in front of you. I do not want you to open it. I do not want you to turn it to the page you think we're going to be on yet. I just want you to set it right in front of you, okay? Alan, one, just set it right in front of you, please. Give one to Jemias. Give one to Alan, please. I mean, Nolan. Mason, give one to Kinsley. Braxton, give one to Zoe. Set it right in front of you. I love that Sophia is sitting so quietly and her book is just sitting right in front of her. That's perfect. Jimmy, give one to Abigail. You guys are doing a great job listening. All right, put your book right in front of you because I just want you to listen for just a minute before you try to find the page. I love that Wyatt is sitting quietly with his book right in front of him. Make sure your book is right in front of you. You're not touching it. Okay? All right, we're going to read a story from our Snapshots book today. Okay, we've been reading out of our Snapshots book. So we have been reading about some characters. Do you remember our characters' names? Raise your hand if you can remember our characters' names. No one? Close. You're very close. You're very close. Keep thinking. You're close. You've got some of those vowel sounds in there that are correct. What do you remember? Do you remember our characters' names? Beth.
And Chad.
Beth.
And
Not Chad. Anybody else remember? Jimmy?
Nat.
Good. Beth and Nat are the characters in the story that we have been reading about. Today, we're going to read a new story called The Trip to the UK. So, every story has a title, and our title is The Trip to the UK. It's going to tell us a little bit about what the story is going to be about. So, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go to the UK. Does anybody remember what the UK stands for? Anybody remember? We live in the US, the United States. Does anybody remember what the UK stands for? Nolan?
United States Kingdom.
Oh, so close. The United Kingdom. Good. So they are going to go to the United Kingdom in our story. So now, before we open our books, actually, I'm going to go over some words that you're going to see in your book. I love that Braxton is still not touching his book. He's sitting so quietly. We're going to go over some words that you're going to see in your story today, okay? This word is jet. Raise your hand if you think you might know what a jet is. Raise your hand if you think you might know what a jet is. Mason, what's a jet?
Something that flies in the sky and goes super fast.
Good. Something that flies in the sky and goes super fast. It's like an airplane that goes super fast. Listen as I read a sentence with the word jet in it. We flew on a jet to visit my grandmother in the UK. You're going to see this word jet in our story. The next word is wing. When you think about a jet and a wing, how are they connected? What do you think the wing might be, Alan? Magnetic. It's probably made out of metal, and I bet you a magnet could stick to it. But think about what a wing might be.
It's stuck there to make so it can help them fly.
It helps the jet fly. Very good. A wing is the part of an airplane. Listen as I read a sentence with the word wing in it. An airplane has 2 wings. The next thing you're going to hear in our story is ramp. Raise your hand if you think you know what a ramp might be. Wyatt?
Like a stairway.
Okay, like a scooter ramp that you might, so there are ramps on buildings that you might walk down. It's a long slanted walkway. So listen as I read a sentence with the word ramp in it. Walk down the ramp carefully. And then the last word that we're going to go over before we read is cab. I think some of you probably know what a cab is. Raise your hand if you think you know what a cab is. Sailor?
That's the thing where, like a taxi, but we like wait to like get our hand in the air and wait till it comes get us.
Good. You might wave your hand in the air to catch a taxi, and it's a car that will take you to where you need to go. Very good. And here's a sentence with the word cab in it. We took a cab from the airport to our home. So these are some words I wanted to talk about before we read, and you will see them in our story. So first, we are going to read this story together. So we're going to listen to Miss Forrest read, and I want to see trackers as I'm reading, and then I'll tell you what page to turn to. You are going to turn to page 18. A 1 and an 8. Page 18. Okay, and as you're reading, I'm looking for trackers. Make sure that your finger is following along as I'm reading. You're looking at those words. You should be in your head trying to read those words yourself as well. All right, thumbs up if you're there. Does anybody need any help? Page 18, a 1 and an 8. All right, show me that you're ready to track. All right, Nolan's ready. Sophia's ready. Make sure we're tracking. You're looking at those words. You're not looking out the window. You're not looking at Miss Forrest. You're looking at those words. So you're learning those words as I am reading them. First, I'm just going to read and you're just going to listen. Let's read the title together because I've already gone over the title with you. So read the title with me, okay? The trip to the UK. Okay, now just listen as I read. Nat went to the UK and I felt sad. But then Mom set up a trip to the UK. Just listen. You may turn your page. I love how quietly you're sitting. We're tracking. Mom and I went on a jet. Ships are fun, but jets are the best. I got to sit next to the wing. I had lunch. Then I had a nap. Mom got this snapshot of the nap. You may turn your page. Nat met us at the end of the ramp. I ran up to hug him. You may turn your page. Then Nat's mom, Dot, got us a cab. This is a snapshot of us with the cab man. Turn the page. Make sure we're tracking. Nat and I had a lot of fun. Then Mom and I slept in a bed next to Nat's bed. Okay, so that's our story. I want you to go back to the title page. Now we're going to read, and I'm going to ask you a few questions. So I'm going to read, you're still going to listen, but then I'm going to ask you some questions about the story. So make sure you're listening so you can raise your hand and help me answer these questions. Okay, the trip to the UK. Make sure we're tracking again. You should be back on page 18. Nat went to the UK and I felt sad. But then Mom set up a trip to the UK. Raise your hand and tell me, why did Beth feel sad? Can you raise your hand and tell me, why did Beth feel sad? Zoe?
Because his friend.
Because her friend what? Can you keep going?
Because
She was sad about her friend?
went to the UK.
Good. Her friend was leaving and going to the UK. Very good. So she was sad because her friend was leaving and going to the UK. Turn the page. Listen as I read again. Mom and I went on a jet. Ships are fun, but jets are the best. I got to sit next to the wing. I had lunch. Then I had a nap. Mom got this snapshot of the nap. Okay? I want you to go up to the top. And there are two sentences at the top. So you're going to run your finger till you see the first period. And then I want you to run your finger. Do you see something that looks kind of funny?
Yeah.
It looks like a period, but it's a little bit different. Does anybody know what that's called? Mason, do you think you know what that's called? What do you think? No, it's on me. It's got a period and a little line on the top. What do you think, Sophia?
A A question mark.
Very good guess. It's close to a question mark. It's an exclamation point. Can you say exclamation point?
Exclamation.
Okay, most sentences, many sentences have periods at the end, but sometimes, if you're really excited about something, guess what you can put at the end of your sentence? An exclamation point. And so when I read that, I need to say that with a little bit more excitement. Jordan, make sure you're sitting crisscross applesauce for me. Okay, I'm going to read that with a little bit more excitement. So listen as I read this sentence. Ships are fun, but jets are the best. So when you say an exclamation point, that tells you that you need to read with a little bit more excitement. Okay, turn the page. Now on this page, I want to see if anyone in here thinks that they could read the words on this page. We've practiced it a little bit. You know these tricky words. You know the sounds that we've been practicing. I want to see if you think you might could read a sentence on this page nice and loudly for us. Sophia, can you read? Good. Close. Eh. One of those vowels. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Jordan. Good. And. Good. Good. Excellent. Okay, now can someone read this next sentence for me? Sophia read to the first period. Can someone read to the second period for me nice and loudly? Wyatt?
I ran up to
You can sound it out. Tap it out.
him.
Good. I love that. Sophia and Wyatt, they both were tapping out their words. They were looking for those tricky words, and they did a great job reading that page. Right here, you notice that Nat is holding up a sign. What does that sign say? Beth. Sometimes when you go to an airport, people will hold up signs with someone's name on it, and it's to help welcome them to the airport or to help them find where they need to go. So Nat's holding up a sign for Beth. Go ahead and turn the page. Okay, listen as I read again. Make sure we're still tracking. I'm looking for friends that are tracking, and they're trying to learn these words and sound out these words as I'm reading. Then Nat's mom, Dot, got us a cab. This is a snapshot of us with the cab man. Okay, I want you to go up and find the word Nat's at the very top and point to it. Find the word Nat's. And we've talked about this little, it kind of looks like a comma in the air, but it's called an apostrophe. Can you say apostrophe? Does anybody remember what that means? We talked about it a little bit a couple days ago. Nat's mom, that apostrophe. What does that mean? Does anybody remember what that apostrophe means? Mason? Do you think you remember? Let's try another friend. Jimmy, do you think you remember?
It's showing that that's his mom.
Oh, that's awesome. It is showing that it's his mom. That apostrophe means that the mom belongs to Nat. So it shows that Nat owns something or he has something that belongs to him. So you'll see apostrophes when you're reading a lot. Okay, now right here, what do you think this black car is? What do you think that black? It's a cab or a taxi. We talked about that word cab. It looks a little different than a lot of the cabs that we might see in the U.S. What color are the cabs we might see in the U.S. usually? A lot of them are yellow. But in the U.K., a lot of times they're black and they're big. And the really interesting thing about cars in the UK is they drive on the opposite side. So whereas when you're riding to school, if a parent is driving you to school and they're sitting in this seat driving, in the UK they would actually sit in this seat and drive. So that's kind of interesting. If you ever went to the UK, you would notice they are driving in a different spot than we drive in the US. So that's pretty interesting. All right, turn the page. Okay, and then we're going to read the last page. Make sure you're tracking for me again. Nat and I had a lot of fun. Then Mom and I slept in a bed next to Nat's bed. What do you notice in Nat's name again right there?
Apostrophe.
An apostrophe again, because whose bed is it?
Nat.
Nat's bed. Excellent. Okay, now I want you to push your book forward so that you're not playing with it, you're not looking at it, and I want you to give me your eyes. Don't push it too far. Give me your eyes. Just push it forward just a little bit and give me your eyes. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. I love that Zoe's still sitting crisscross applesauce and she's sitting so quietly. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and I want you to raise your hand if you think you know the answer. And if you think you can put it in a complete sentence, I want you to try to put it in a complete sentence. If you can't, then we'll help you come up with a complete sentence. Where do Beth and her mom go on their trip? If you think you can put that in a complete sentence, please do. If you just know the answer, you can raise your hand also and we'll help you. Give me crisscross applesauce so I can see everybody. Where do Beth and her mom go on their trip? Alan.
And a jet.
They do go on a jet, but where do they go? Nolan? The UK. Okay, so they go to the UK, but listen, the UK. Is that a complete sentence? Could someone turn that into a complete sentence? That was a great answer, but could we turn that into a complete sentence? The question was, where do Beth and her mom go on their trip? Jimmy, could you turn that into a complete sentence?
I have never been to the UK.
Okay, that's telling me something about you, but if we want to turn that into a complete sentence, listen to Miss Forrest, we could say, Beth and her mom went to the UK. Instead of just answering with a one-word answer, we're going to put it in a complete sentence. Beth and her mom went to the UK. That would be a complete sentence. Can someone answer this question for me? Why did they take a trip to the UK? Why did they take a trip to the UK? I want you to think. I would like to see someone that maybe hasn't answered a question yet. Why did they take a trip to the UK? Zoe, why do you think they took a trip to the UK?
Because his mom got a job at the UK.
Okay, so Nat's mom got a job at the UK, and who wanted to see Nat?
Me.
Who wanted to see Nat? Do you remember her name?
Yeah.
Who was Beth wanted to see Nat. So to put that into a complete sentence, we could say they go see Nat. Okay, here's another question. How do they get to the UK? Raise your hand if you know this answer, because I know someone accidentally answered this earlier, so I think you know the answer to this one. How do they get to the UK? Braxton. Do you know how they get to the UK? What did they ride on? Do you remember?
A taxi.
Okay, when they got there, they did ride in a cab, but that's not how they got there first. Do you remember, Nolan?
A jet.
A jet. But a jet, is that a complete sentence? Is that a complete sentence? Is a jet a complete sentence? Wyatt, can you turn it into a complete sentence?
Beth and her
Listen.
mom went to the UK on a jet.
Oh, say that one more time because I don't think everybody was listening. Say it one more time.
Beth and her mom went on a jet to the UK.
Excellent. He didn't just say a jet. He turned it into a complete sentence. That was perfect. Okay, raise your hand and tell me. Who is waiting for them at the airport? Who is waiting for them at the airport? Jimmy?
Beth.
Not Beth. Who is waiting for Beth at the airport? You remember? Sailor?
Nat.
Nat and someone else. Do you remember?
Mom.
Do you remember?
Mom.
Nat and his mom. So how could we turn that into a complete sentence instead of just saying Nat and his mom? How could we turn that into a complete sentence? Zara?
Nat and his mom was waiting for
Beth?
Beth.
Good. Nat and his mom were waiting for Beth. That would be a perfect way to turn that into a complete sentence. You guys did an awesome job. Give me your eyes. You did an awesome job listening. You did an awesome job answering those questions. Okay, and next, you're going to get to try to read some of this by yourself with your partner. So hopefully you were paying attention to what we were reading, and you were going to use some of those strategies we've been practicing, like tapping out the word and looking for tricky words, and you and your partner are going to read some of this together, okay? So in just a minute, I'm going to have peanut butters go to their seats, and then jellies are going to find their peanut butters. And you guys are going to read this story together. And so let me show you, as you're reading, if your partner is reading, what should you be doing? Tracking. You should be tracking so that you're learning those words with your partner.
And listening.
And if your partner needs help, guess who can help your partner?
Your partner.
You can. You can help your partner with a word. So you're going to be tracking as your partner's reading. You will read a page, and then your partner will read a page. I'm going to have peanut butters read first, and then jellies, okay? And as I'm walking around, if you need help with a word, I can help you as well, okay? So I need for peanut butters to walk to their seats.
Beth.
Good. That's a tricky word. Can anybody help him with that tricky word? Wyatt? 2. Good. Can you keep going, Braxton? Good. And then the last word. Good. So let me read it one more time so everyone can hear. Mom and Beth went to the UK on a bus, a ship, or a jet. What do you think? A jet. So you're going to bubble in that answer nice and neatly. They went on a really fast airplane. Who? Good. Good. Very good reading. All right, I'm going to read it one more time so everybody can hear it. Who had a nap on the jet? Can you raise your hand and tell me who had a nap on the jet, thinking back to what we read? Sophia? Beth. Could anybody put that in a complete sentence, though, for me? Instead of just writing Beth, let's write it in a complete sentence. Beth, Sophia, can you turn it into a complete sentence? Okay, show me. Beth napped on a jet. Good. You have more room. You can continue to write. Beth had a what? Nap. Nap. What do you hear? N-A-P. Good. N-A-P. Beth had a nap. Space on. What do you hear? O-N. Make sure you put spaces in between your words. Beth had a nap on jet. On jet. Does that make sense? On a jet or on the jet. Either one of those would work. Who can spell the tricky word the? Raise your hand if you can spell the tricky word the. Alan, tricky word the. What? Can you spell the tricky word the? Good job. T-H-E. Beth had a nap on the jet. Jet. What do you hear? What letters do you hear? Jet. J-E-T. Good. Oh, good. My sentence isn't finished without a what? Period. Spaces, Nat and. Do you remember Nat's mom's name? Dot. So we'll go ahead and write her name, and we also need to capitalize her name. Nat and Dot. Word. Does anybody know how to spell the tricky word word? If you don't, you could probably find it on our tricky word poster. Then put a space at. What do you hear? A-T. Good. Nat and Dot were at the. Where were they? Ramp. What do you hear? R. What's after R? A-M. Good. P. What do you hear at the end? P. P. Is our sentence finished? No. What do we need at the end? Period. Good.